We're down here in Alabama. This is Jay Kozel with UFO Mania. We're going to be interviewing local residents about a song called The Pride by U2. It's a song about those who fought with non-violence for equality of all men, with special reference to the preacher, Dr. Martin Luther King. We're coming up on somebody's farm right here, so we're going to go see if we can ask him a few questions. Hey, sir.
Howdy, how y'all doing?
Hey, we're with UFO Mania. We'd like to interview you about a song called The Pride by U2. Have you heard anything about it?
I think I have heard about that song. Somebody find the song too as well.
All right, can we ask you a few questions about it?
How about this? I just finished fixing my fence over here. And we'll take my truck back over to the barn and we can sit down and talk about it, get you guys something to drink. How about that?
All right, sounds great. In the first 4 lines, it keeps repeating the phrase, one man. What is your take on that?
Well, I think that repetition of the one man at the start of those lines, those first 4 lines, kind of emphasizes how there's many fellas out here who's trying to help the world and show them a better way. As it said in the first line, they came in the name of love. That's all there is to it.
Right. All these men, there's all these separate men fighting under the same reason for the unity of love. Especially Martin Luther King, as it says in the first line, one man came under the name of love. So later in the poem it says, early morning, April 4, shots ring out in the Memphis sky. Do you know anything about that?
Well, I think that, sir, that's making a direct reference to that feller, what's his name? Oh, Dr. King, the preacher who led that Black Civil Rights Movement. I think that's the day he was shot.
Right, it was. And doesn't that directly juxtapose with the first line when it says, he's coming in the name of love?
What?
All right, we'll move on then. So the song keeps repeating the phrase, one man, and eventually it says, one man comes to overthrow. Does this ring any bells with you?
You know, sir, I think that does. There's that Malcolm X character who wanted to overthrow the white oppression of them black fellers.
That's right. So with that, that's all the time we got today, and I'd like to thank you for answering all our questions.
Yeah, no problem, sir. My pleasure. I'll do it anytime.
All right, so now we're here in an Alabama subdivision about to interview this home resident. Sir, we're here with UFO Mania.
Oh, hi. I was just here watering my Delphian firm. How may I help you, gentlemen?
All right, so we're wondering if you heard about a song called The Pride by U2. We're interviewing residents about it today.
Oh, I have heard of that song. It's very big in upper state New York, where I just moved from down here to Alabama.
Oh, you just moved up from upstate New York?
Yeah.
All right. So now we're going to ask you a few questions about it, if that's all right with you.
Yeah, that should be mighty fine.
Do you happen to have any military history?
Oh, my grandpa actually served in the Vietnam War.
Oh, is that so? What did he do in the Vietnam War?
He actually repaired refrigerators.
That's great. So there's a line in the song that says, one man caught on a barbed wire fence. Now, does that ring any bells or bring up any ideas with you?
That kind of reminds me of what my grandpa told me about how in the living quarters in Vietnam, the blacks and whites were separated by a barbed wire fence.
That's right. And also, in World War II, many of the black soldiers would be putting on the front lines and they'd get caught in a lot of the barbed wire.
You know, I do remember that from my historical investigation in high school.
Oh, that's great. You did a historical investigation on World War II.
That is correct.
All right, so one line in the song says, one man washed up on an empty beach. Do you make any reference to that?
Yes, that would be a direct reference to the Battle of Normandy in World War II, when the black soldiers were forced to fight in the front line and their dead bodies got washed up on the beach. That is a great imagery within the song.
That's right, and after the Battle of Normandy, the beaches were actually littered with a lot of bodies. So later in the poem, when Martin Luther King is assassinated, there's this paradox when it says, free at last, they took your life. Now, what is your take on this?
So being free and taking life should mean quite the opposite, but in this case, they actually kind of relate to each other because Luther is free from all the oppression and violence of the movement. So really, he is finally free at last.
Oh, that's right. Now, thank you for answering all our questions today.
Oh, thank you, sir.
All right, thank you. After a successful day of interviewing the residents, we've come to a better understanding of not only the song Pride by U2, but also the civil rights era. And with that, this is Jay Kozel from UFO Mania signing off.